welcome back to another week rotations video. We're now week number 45, I believe, in this series where I show you everything I've worn all through the week, and it's everything from my collection. So some things may be designer, some things may be niche or indie, but most of them are gonna be cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this channel is all about. And I guess that this video is now the dressy edition. I don't think any of you ever seen me dressed up in my Sunday attire, but I just came in from my service and all kind of other running around that I do, and just really didn't feel like changing to different clothes. So I decided to go ahead and while I was still snazzed up and shoot this video, since I'm actually shooting this on Sunday. Usually do it on the Saturday before, but this is on the Sunday, so I'm going from Sunday to Sunday. So starting off with the first day of last week, on Sunday, I wore one that I absolutely love. I know there's a lot of clones of this out there now, but this by far to me is my favorite. I don't think I'll need another one unless there's anything more accurate or a bigger twist, because I think this is probably one of the better twists and takes on it, and very accurate and amazing quality. It is by Armaf, and this one is Club Nuit Lionheart Man. And of course, this is a clone and twist on Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. Absolutely love this, and the twist that's on this is a very minty, aromatic, fresh opening, not really green, just aromatic, minty, very sweet, has that honey, tobacco sweetness, very ambery, and very vanillic as well. But this is an amazing, amazing take, very sexy, very sensual, but also because of that twist, it's something that's more wearable even in the daytime, not just for dates and special occasions. This is one that can be worn easily day or night in the fall, winter, and springtime. I think maybe even in the summertime you could wear it if it's in air conditioning and you're lining up sprays, and it's like a date night setting. But yeah, absolutely love this. Again, I'm not gonna need another clone. I know there's a lot of clones out there, a lot of different takes. To me, I don't need anything else as long as I have this one. Amazing performance, by the way, like easily 8+ hours longevity with a nice medium, almost medium loud projection for the majority of the fragrance. Amazing quality, has a nice journey from fresh, minty, fresh opening, aromatic, into that honey sweet tobacco kind of dry down, very vanillic, ambery, warm, cozy. Absolutely love this stuff. Amazing, great quality, and it's really for a good price now and more available than it was when it first came out, because now everyone already has it or heard about it, and so not everyone's trying to get their hands on it. So it's gonna be more available to you out there. But yeah, absolutely love this. Amazing, one of my favorites from the whole Armaf Club Nuit line in general. Love this stuff. And then at nighttime, had a lot of young people at the house, or having a game night and eating and having a really good time is great. And decided to wear one that is very playful, very nice, very, very sweet, and fit perfect on the dry down of Lionheart Man. And it's this one here by Imaginary Authors. I've smelled this, my wife's worn it. I just haven't worn it myself until this occasion. And it is this one that's very well known. It is Whiff of Waffle Cone. And this is a photorealistic, salty caramel drizzle on vanilla ice cream in a waffle cone. Has a maple syrup kind of vibe to it as well. Very, very, very sweet. If you don't like sweet fragrances, you're not gonna like this, but yet this also has a unique balance where you think it's gonna be too sweet and then it backs off a little bit. Great balance, amazing fragrance. The only thing with this is it's not that long lasting. It's great performing as far as projection for the first like hour, 2 hours, but then after that it drops off pretty quick. But it does make one that's great for a nice playful, even date night setting. If you are like a gourmand lover, you will love this. Amazing quality. Like I said, you think it's gonna be too sweet, but then it doesn't quite reach over that threshold. It keeps very well underneath it. Love this stuff, absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's something that you're just not gonna find out and about everywhere. It's definitely a niche and unique take with a little bit of a designer sensibility as well. Absolutely love this stuff. If you haven't got a chance to try any of Imaginary Authors stuff, which there's another one in here by the way, then definitely recommend trying their sample kits and making sure you get this one, because this is well known from their house and for a really good reason. And that next day, Monday, the first day of the work week, I decided to wear one that I guess because I wore Contra for You last week by Cameron Perfumes, I decided that another Contra flanker from Cameron Perfumes. And this one I think is very underrated. I don't know really what the original smells like. I had a chance to smell it. I didn't get to, but I think this smells probably very accurate. One that's a little polarizing to most people, but I love this take on it. It is just amazing. It is by, again, Cameron Perfumes, but this is Contra. I believe it is Pharos Royal Edition, and just by the reflection of the bottle, the look of it, and definitely smell, you know exactly what this is a clone of. This is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Pegasus. That almond, nutty, very vanillic, heliotrope, white floral aspect with a little bit of that metallic muskiness, which is very fitting for the color of the bottle, which they got from Pegasus. So Pegasus is the same way, but this I don't think has too much of that metallic almond, nutty kind of polarizing aspect that maybe Pegasus has. This backs it off a little bit, has a little more vanilla in there, a little bit of like cloudy muskiness still. This is absolutely amazing. The way that they put this has a little bit of a freshness to it. I think makes it even more wearable. You wear this easily daytime, spring, fall, winter, nighttime, spring, fall, winter. I think you can even wear this in the nighttime in the summertime, maybe even the daytime as well, as long as it's not too hot and you're in a controlled environment. I think this is pretty much almost a year-round wear. Again, this one in particular, the way they twist this, making it a little fresher. I love this stuff. Love the scent profile. I love Pegasus Exclusive as well. I've had a sample of that. Love the way that is. We'll have to get a good clone of that. But this right here is probably all I need as far as Pegasus itself. It just is an amazing twist and take on it. And I love the profile. Again, vanillic, fluffy, a little bit of a nutty, metallic nature. And very clean as well, being a little mature, a little classic as well. I just love this stuff. It's phenomenal. Great performance as well, like medium loud projection for majority of the fragrance, and it lasted all the work day, like easily 6+ hours, and this is only like $15.99. You can still find it out and about now. I think it's in a clear bottle now. It's not the full silver, but still the same, hopefully the same formulation, same juice and everything, but love this stuff. If you don't know what Pegasus smells like, or you want a good Pegasus twist for a really good price, go out to a rack store like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and pick this up. This stuff is phenomenal. And that nighttime, I wore a fragrance that I got in actually that day. I had everyone talk about it, and I thought this was gonna be the last flanker in the line, but then they recently released another one, so I guess I get that one too. But I'm on my way to completing this whole line, and it's by Lattafa in the Assad line, and it is Assad Bourbon. I know this came out as hyped. It was a little expensive for what it was, so I decided to wait till the price dropped and it got more available, and as soon as it was, which was very recent, I picked it up, got it, and I'm glad that I did. And warning, I did wear this another time in the week, so I'll talk about it, or at least I'll mention it later again, but this, love it, very much in that style of Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma, Azzaro the Most Wanted, Strong With You. It's a mixture of all of those. You can definitely draw comparisons to either one and you would not be wrong. It's very vanillic, and I think it's also a bourbon vanilla, more specific, but a very vanillic, almost bubblegum style of sweetness in here, a little bit of spiciness, a little woodiness, very ambery, but majority of what you get is vanilla and amber. It is very nice. Even though it says bourbon, there's not any bourbon alcohol boozy notes in here. It's more of that bourbon vanilla style, but yeah, love this stuff. As far as what I've first been able to tell, it does not perform that well on me. I mean, it has a nice medium projection, almost intimate for majority of the fragrance, and it doesn't last, at least too noticeable, up until like maybe 5-hour mark. But I assume, like most of the Lattafa and Middle Eastern stuff, as this matures and sits on the shelf, it will get even deeper and way better performing, hopefully better longevity overall. Love this stuff though. I think it's actually pretty great for daytime or nighttime, fall, winter, maybe nighttime for spring, but daytime I think in fall and winter was great. Love the stuff, casual, out and about, date nights, probably too sweet for formal, mature gatherings, but still love the stuff nonetheless. I mean, it's going to be a little redundant to other things you own, things like, Strong With You, Is Almost Wanted, things like that. But if you want something that's pretty cheap, pretty straight up, then yeah, pretty great one. Or I mean, if you do want another, Assad flanker and you don't have this one, why not complete the collection? And now that Assad Elixirs come out, I'm really looking forward to see what that one smells like. I know it's supposed to be like Boss Bald Absolute. I guess I'm gonna get that one, and we'll see what they make after that. I assume it's gonna be something a little different and way out there, but yeah, can't wait to get that one. But this one I love, and really I'm going to enjoy in the cold weather that we're now in. Then on that Tuesday, wore one that I talked about in a recent shorts video that I put out, and also talked about it in my fall cheapies video of this year. It is by Jacques Bogart, and it is this one, Club 75. I really love this fragrance. I sprayed it on again on my lunch break because it did die off pretty quick, but I wanted to refresh it, didn't mind, absolutely love it. This is going to be a little similar almost to Assad Bourbon in a way. It has a little bit of Azzaro, Most Wanted, Wanted by Night style. It has a very fresh, actually citric orange opening, very light and airy, a good bit of vanilla that comes up behind it, a little bit of a woodiness in here, a good bit of spice with a dominant cinnamon note, but it still stays fresh overall, which is weird. I think this is one you can even wear easily daytime, spring, fall, winter, nighttime, spring, fall, winter. I think even nighttime and summertime. Some people even say you can wear this in the daytime in the summer, maybe on the cooler ends from the end of spring, beginning of fall, things like that, because it does have a very citric, bright opening, more so than what I experienced before. But overall, it is a sweet vanillic fragrance, but it smells amazing. way better than what the price would think, and I think it's like $19, but most of the time online, what you can see, and it's not talked about a whole lot, so definitely better than what it gets appreciation and notice for, but love this stuff. Absolutely incredible. To me, it smells it has a good bit of fruitiness, by the way, I forgot to mention that. It's not just citrus, it's a good fruity note, and a lot of people say it smells like an oatmeal raisin cookie because of the fruity notes and the cinnamon and the vanilla sweetness in there. It has a little bit of a cookie smell to it, like almost a baked good kind of thing, even without being a gourmand. But yeah, fruity, sweet, citric on the top, a lot of vanilla, and a little bit of a warm, ambery, spicy cinnamon nature is overall what you're gonna get with this. Love this stuff, amazing. I think even a mature, grown-up guy can wear this if you want something that's playful and sweet with a little bit of a serious dry down. It smells really, really good. I absolutely love this. And there's a flanker to this called Club 75 VIP, which I think is a fresh one. I really want to get that one, but that one's a little harder to find. But yeah, if you don't have this fragrance and you love the Jacques Bogart brand and name overall, you need to get this one because it is really good. And then that nighttime, I decided to wear one that I have not worn a whole lot of, and maybe because it's so limited and this is a discontinued fragrance, but my brother-in-law had a second bottle, and so he gave this one to me, and I'm very glad that he did, so I get to enjoy it. And I had a chance years back at TJ Maxx to get a bottle of this for a really good price. Pass it up, and then it was discontinued shortly after, and hard to find, almost impossible unless you want to pay way upwards of $150, $200 on eBay. But I'm glad I got this one, and again, I think my brother-in-law, if he's watching this, thank you, my man, I really appreciate it. But this is one by Polo, and if you like Polo Black, you will really love this one, because this is Polo Double Black. Again, discontinued fragrance, rare, hard to find, a little difficult, but if you like Polo Black, you like that style, but you want something that's a little richer, a little deeper, probably more for colder weather, this is the one to go with. It's not gonna be any better performing than the original Polo Black. I know that a lot of people harp on that one because of performance. This one's about the same, a little under average performance, but the scent profile is way more improved. Very fruity, sweet, not really citric, just a nice fruity sweetness, a lot of vanilla in here, a lot of amber. There's also a dominant coffee note in here, which you don't get a whole lot of unless you really spray it and look for it. It doesn't really give a noticeable, like hard roasted, dark roasted coffee. It has just a little bit of a smoky, almost espresso kind of vibe without being too bitter. It just has a little bit, like I said, roast smoke way without being too overdone. Not like anything, like Rokas Man and even Salvador Ferragamo, Uomo in Uomo's signature, not like those. It's very much in the background of the fragrance, but majority of what you get is that fruity sweetness, a little deeper. It still has a little bit of that inky nature that the original Polo Black has, while being a little smoother overall. Just basically everything from the original, but double, just like the name says, more intense, a little deeper, but again, without affecting the performance. It still is under average, like a nice medium projection overall, has a nice sillage to it, but it does dry off pretty quickly. But it smells absolutely great. Like a nice, maybe like 4 or 5 hours longevity noticeably, but then again, you just spray it up, even though this one, again, discontinued, so I'm not gonna spray it up as much as if it wasn't, and if I had a full bottle. I still have half a bottle in here, so it's still a good bit to use, but yeah, love the fragrance still. It's a nice luxury in my collection, nice something to go back to and smell and enjoy, but definitely one that I'll be holding on to as long as I can, but still really, really nice. That Wednesday wore one that is all year, any season, any occasion, casual, formal, business, whatever. Maybe some office wear as long as you're very conservative with the sprays, because it is a big performer and one that I absolutely love. My favorite in this line as of now, aside from maybe not only Intense, but again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is my off and on. It is Supremacy Collector's Edition. It's a clone of Absolute Aventus, and I actually had the chance to try Absolute Aventus on my skin. My brother-in-law got a sample of it, and I will say this is very, very close. Absolute Aventus is a little sweeter than this on that, almost caramelized sweetness. Maybe, Armand's Cologne per show is closer, even though I still need to get that fragrance, but this is a less sweet than that one. Again, way more of a twist of the white floral, overall floral aspect in this than that, but still has the same quality and overall, vibe of the, mossy, aromatic earthiness in here with that overarching citric fruitiness in there as well. Really, really nice. And actually, while wearing this fragrance, I got 2 compliments throughout the day. One from a coworker of mine that walking in that morning, opening up, and she's like, "You smell amazing." And then the second one went through the drive-thru on my lunch break, and the person in the window taking my order was like, "Ooh, you smell really good. You smell really good." And she just had to compliment me on it. And I was like, and it was like midday. It was like 4 or 5 hours into wearing this. I thought that maybe it already dried off a good bit, but she could smell me through my car into the window. And so I was like, well, this thing must still be kicking off a good bit. Maybe I went nose blind to it, but yeah, she was complimenting me on it and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty nice. 2 compliments, unsolicited, did not ask for them. And even after thinking that this had already died off, it was still on. So I will say I've probably got the best performance out of this, the most recent time I wore this Wednesday. But yeah, really good, medium, not just medium, but loud projection for majority of the fragrance, like at least the first hour and a half to 2 hours, with a nice medium projection overall, nice sillage to it. And the longevity on this is easily 7+ hours. I even smelled it when I got home that day on my clothes and on the back of my neck, and I thought that it would have been well gone by then. So yeah, way better performance this past time I've worn it. But yeah, love the stuff, amazing, great price on it, by the way. It's gone down a good bit since it first came out, and availability is still there, even though some people are still trying to pick it off. But yeah, really recommend this one if you like not only intense, or you like absolute Ventus and you want something with a nice twist to it. This is a great one every day, any occasion, no matter what you're doing. This is a great one to go with. Love it, great performance overall, but high quality scent profile. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10. There's nothing not to like about this. It is amazing. Highly recommend this. And that nighttime is pretty cool that night. Had a small group gathering to go to at someone else's house, and this was hyped up a whole lot. Probably the most out of the line that this comes from by Saldo Ferragamo. Got my hands on it, wore it, and absolutely love it. It is again by Ferragamo, and it is spicy leather from the leather line. I do love bright leather. I really love red leather. I have intense leather, and I'm still kind of iffy on what I think about it, but this is easily the top one, if not top second one. Love this stuff. Actually has a nice little bit of almost a fruity style sweetness in the beginning, but then you quickly get that animalic but clean leather underneath. And even though it says spicy leather, I didn't get a whole lot of spice in it until it started drying down. Then the spicy woodiness came out. And majority of what you can get with this is that leather, a little bit of muskiness as well. And that leather comes across very clean, mature, but it has a nice animalic punch to it on the tail end of it in the background. It's not overly done. It's not something that's unwearable. If anything, this is the most wearable, realistic leather, like car leather smell that you can have. Love this stuff. Or like a leather jacket, like very rugged, very clean and very mature, and very well-groomed, classy. I'll just absolutely really enjoy this one. This is one you can probably wear more in the nighttime and fall, winter and spring, but maybe more in the daytime if it's very cold, especially in the wintertime. But yeah, love this stuff. Absolutely amazing. Great atomizer, great quality, and performance on this wasn't the absolute best. It lasted maybe about noticeably like 5 hours or so, and it started dying off pretty quick even by that point. But yeah, easily like medium loud for the first hour and a half or so, and has a nice sillage to it. And you get it for a really good price, especially at rack stores now, like TJ Maxx. You can get it for like $39.99 for a smaller size bottle, maybe even $29 if it's on clearance, but $49.99 for a full size. And even at some most discounters online, it's like upwards of $60+. So yeah, rack stores are having the good deals on these, at least on the Salvador Ferragamo stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love this stuff, guys. If you don't have this one, but you love Salvador Ferragamo as a brand in general, or you have all the other leather flankers and you don't have this one, I highly recommend to get this one, not just to complete it, but really just to see how it compares to the others, because I almost guarantee you're gonna love this one at probably the top of your list. Love this stuff, it's great. That next day, on Thursday, wore another one that I've talked about a good bit on the channel, so I'm not gonna give a whole lot about it now, but it's about Armaf. Easily one of the most wearable fragrances, and I got a little different nuance out of this last time I've worn it, but one you can wear another one all year round, any occasion, any situation, but it has a little more class to it than most of the things here. It is by Armaf, and it is Infinity Silver. You can see Infinity on the other side. Some people say Infinity Silver, some say Infinity Black, but this is a clone of Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme Ultime. There's a very fresh rose forward fragrance, not anything that's too floral, not anything that's too feminine. It's just a very fresh, it has a tobacco note in there as well, at least I know this one does. A little aromatic, very clean, very just well-groomed, not anything too spiky and sharp rose. It's very clean and subtle in the background, almost like a clean laundry style of rose in there. And I didn't really get the rose that much, even though I know rose is a huge part of L'Homme Ultime. I was like, well, it should be a huge part of this, even though I'm not getting it. I'm just getting a lot of citrus, a lot of clean, ozonic, aromatic notes in there, and maybe a little bit of that tobacco essence as well, a little bit of a dry but very soft woodiness, and I just don't get the rose. And then out of nowhere, while wearing this well into the dry down, like 5-6 hours into wearing it in the day, I was like, I smell rose in here. Someone has a like a perfume or something that has a lot of rose in it. And I thought about it. It's like, no, it's actually this one. And for some reason, after letting it sit and mature and wearing it way into that dry down is when the rose really came out. And again, it wasn't anything too floral, not funeral home. It's just very clean and noticeable, and it was a nice surprise. But yeah, absolutely love this stuff. It has pretty okay performance overall. I'm still gauging it here and there because I get very performance every time I wear it, but easily going on, I think like 6 hours strong with a nice medium projection, and after that point it starts drying off a good bit. Some people get more than that, sometimes double, and I guess it depends on how you're wearing it and your skin type, but yeah, easily like average. I'm not, maybe a tad over that overall, but still, as far as the quality and the profile, it is the most wearable probably out of anything here and almost anything out of my collection. It's not a blue style fragrance, but it might as well have the same versatility, wearability, and usability. It is really great, very smooth, not hard to wear this at all, day, night, any situation, any time of the year. But yeah, you know it, all the things. Yeah, love this stuff. If you have not tried this, I'd highly recommend trying this out because it is really, really good. And then that nighttime, I had to carry on my other tradition of wearing a Parfums Belkin fragrance at least once a week, and decided to wear this one, and I haven't worn it in a while, and just fell in love with it all over again in the whole scent profile that this is emulating, again by Parfums Belkin. This one is called Classic Match, but I'm guessing, yeah, just by the look of the bottle, you already know what this is a clone of, and if not, you can definitely get it by the smell. This is a clone of this one here, Jacquard Noir. Except this one is actually cloning the original formulation and style that Jacquard was originally released in way back in the 80s, that more oak moss, earthy, aromatic, heavy side of it, and it definitely has that in it. And actually way better performing than what Jacquard is now, the recent formulations, like way better projecting, way better longevity, and even a little richer of a profile in there. I don't know how they did that. It still has the same sweet, almost fruity style of lavender in the opening, just like that, a little powdery, very aromatic, a little bit of a woody aspect in there as well, but quickly you get a lot more of that oak moss, earthy, almost green, very much more aromatic, a little herbal, more so than the current formulations, way more like the original ones, how people used to talk about it back in the heyday. Way better performance as well, nice medium projection for majority of the fragrance, and I smelled this way into the night, easily going on like almost 6, almost 7 hours. Of course, it depends on how you wear it and your skin chemistry and things like that, but it lasted a way longer than this ever has. I mean, I do love that. It has a little bit of a smoother profile overall, especially in the opening, but over the whole thing, looking at it from top to bottom, in retrospect, this is the better buy overall, and it's way cheaper than what you get that one for, even though that was cheap. You can get this one for like under 10 bucks at Walmart most of the time. Love this stuff. If you are a fougere, chypre kind of person, you love barbershop scents, you wish you could have the original style of that, this is the one to go for. Again, Classic Match by Belkin Parfums. Love this stuff, phenomenal. Everybody should have this in their cheapy collection. Then that last work day on Friday, wore one that I did spray again before I went on my lunch break, because even though it doesn't have the best performance as far as projection, it does have pretty good longevity. I just wanted to refresh with it because I do really love this scent profile and everything this is about. Some people say that it's a little hard to get a hold of nowadays, but I think you still can find it pretty good, especially at things like FragranceNet and more US-based sites and like online discounters. It is by Nikos, and this one is Sculpture Parfum. Absolutely love this. Smells like the original Nikos, but was smoother, a little more modern sweetness style in there. Smells just like Lafayette Street by Bond Number 9. A little similar to, some people say even Uden by Zerdrop, even though I think it's a little bit of a, little stretch in there. I think it smells way closer to things like Amouage's Reflection Man, which, back here, Chianca Silver smells a lot like, but this has a lot more of that orange and orange blossom note on the top, being very orange overall. And even though it's in a blue bottle, I think it should be in an orange one because it has the very ambery, benzoin, vanillic sweetness. It's very sensual, very seductive, very easy to like and love. I did get a compliment on this as well while I was at work from a different coworker, a different one than the one that commented earlier in the week. It smells so good, guys. Very classy, very smooth. It's just very likable. And one that you can wear actually year-round as well, like daytime or nighttime for any occasion. It does have a little more class, a little more of a formal occasion, almost dressed up kind of feel to it than most of the ones here that you could wear in the daytime. But you could easily wear this casually if you have the right kind of vibe and attitude and outfit with it as well, depending on what you're out and doing. But yeah, this is one very classed up, very nice. I did say this was like a James Bond kind of scent at one point, but yeah, love this stuff, absolutely amazing. Like I said, the longevity is better than the projection is with this. It's very almost medium, almost intimate projection overall. It does have a great seance to it for the first bit of the fragrance, but it does last about like that 5-6 hour mark, again, depending on what you spray and how you wear it, but still, overall, the quality is spectacular. Love the stuff. If you don't have it, highly recommend trying this out and see what you think. And then at nighttime, my wife and I went out and about with our baby, just doing a quick grocery run, then come back home because we had to get up early the next day, and decided to wear one that I'm glad I wore because it was not long lasting or well projecting or performing overall, but it's a nice little wear, just to experience it and see what it was like. Like I said, this is the second Imagine Your Office one I wore in this lineup this week, and this one is called Oh Unknown. I don't know if it'll focus, but there it is. And I believe that this one is actually discontinued now, so I don't know how available, or if you'd be able to smell it if you did get a sample kit, but this is one that is very focused on the front part with a nice iris note. And it's really the same quality and style of iris that you see in a lot of Givenchy style in their Gentleman line. Not really so much in the Dior Homme style, but more of Givenchy style of iris. And then right behind it, you get a lot of dry woodiness. I mean, like very dry, like papyrus, dry paper kind of woodiness, a little bit of dry ambery, like ambrette style in there as well. And the iris is not sweet, unlike the Gentleman line. Doesn't have a lot of vanilla, doesn't have any of the benzoin sweetness, no booziness, nothing like that. It's a dry iris. It's very similar at the start with that, but it quickly gets into a very airy, like I said, musky dryness in there. That's the best way I can get it. It is very woody dry, but very unique take on iris, something I've never smelled before, and it did not last that long on me. It's pretty well projecting for the first hour, but then it quickly wore off, like no more than maybe 3 to 4 hours until I didn't really notice it in that air that much. It was very, very intimate on skin, and you didn't really smell the iris. It was more of just the dry, woody, almost ambrette style in there. But yeah, one that's very interesting, not gonna be for everybody, especially if you are a sweet, very dense, waxy iris lover. This is the one that's not gonna probably appeal to you, but if you do wanna try it and you wanna see a niche hand at iris that's very different, then this is a nice one to go with, assuming that you can find it out and about. And then on Saturday, which was yesterday, my wife and I hung out with my friend Tommy and his wife Lydia. Had a whole day together just to enjoy it. We haven't got to do anything like that in a while. And I wore one that was really great. Haven't worn a whole lot of it. It was actually the warmest day this week, and probably the warmest day is going to be around here for a while. And so I thought, you know what? I haven't worn it in a bit. Why don't I just go ahead and wear it and try it out again instead of think about it? It is by Hermes, and this one is H24 Eau de Parfum, and maybe you can watch the video that I opened this up in a rack store haul. I'll probably put a link right here. I got it for a very, very cheap price of like, I believe it was like $29 or something like that. And this is, I think, a 30 mil. So even still, very, very good pricing for this. And this is one that a lot of people like a lot more than the original ET version, and some people not as much as the newer Herbs Vibes or Vives, whatever it's called. But I actually really love this one. I got a different aspect out of this too this past time I worn it. Has a nice sweet fruity opening when you first spray it on, which you don't expect, especially after looking at the note breakdown. You're like, where did that come from? But very modern, likable, fruity sweetness on the top front, and then right behind it you get all the aromatic herbal oak moss notes and mossy notes that is in this, even with that very metallic, almost hot burnt metal style of muskiness in here, almost mineralic in a way. And actually, while wearing this fragrance, we were in the car driving out somewhere to get someone to eat, and it was very sunny, and I had the fragrance on, and I started smelling something. I was like, I don't have the heat turned on too high in the car, and it's like, it smells like hot metal in here, like my shirt is getting ironed or something like that. Like, what's going on? And then I realized it was this fragrance, the sunlight hitting it and the heat hitting it in the car, making it go off. Had a very hot iron, hot metal kind of like ironing board or a hot iron ironing board kind of muskiness to it, very different. And I did smell it before when I first wore the fragrance, but I guess I smelled it a lot more this time. I get more what people think about it, but it's very interesting. I do like it. Has a nice cleanliness to it. Like I said, the oak moss in here, very green, aromatic, herbal, a little earthy, but overall, it's a very clean, classy, a little more mature. Most guys might not like it if they're more into the younger sweet stuff, even though the opening is sweet. If you like more mature, classic, very good for the like fall, spring, even some of the summertime, as long as you're light with the sprays, because it is very musky, then I think it works great for you, office wear, casual, formal, out and about, whatever it is. Love the stuff, phenomenal. If you get the chance to find this for a really good price at a rack store, even somewhere online, definitely recommend picking it up. It might not be for everybody, but if you love mossy and if you're curious about that very interesting hot metal muskiness in there, try it out. I think it's very unique and actually for me personally, very likable. And like I said before, I wore a solid bourbon again in the week, and actually way later, Saturday night, whenever it started wearing off, the Hermes one, I wore a solid bourbon again just to try it out, and I had a little bit of the same experience, but I want to keep wearing it as the season goes on and see if it changes over time, especially as it sits on the shelf. But then today, since it is Sunday and I have had the chance to wear a fragrance, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it, and so next week I'll be talking more about this Monday through Saturday, but one that I wore from these Zaharoff samples I got from one of Zaharoff, one that I absolutely love. I've got to get a full bottle of this, but then again, I might just wait till I go through all the samples just to make sure what the first full bottle will be that I buy. This one, I absolutely love it. I just sprayed it on early in the morning. It lasted a good bit. Then I refreshed again midday before going into another service, but it is this one called Signature Royale. I don't know if you can read the text there, but Signature Royale. Apparently, there are a lot of flankers from this that's like XL, then XXL, XXXL, and things like that. And apparently, the more the flankers go on, the more animalic the musky like style gets as it goes through. So I think this one is going to be the least animalic and the more likable one overall than most people, but it still did have a good opening of very strong citrus and a lot of that almost animalic, old school, mature style of muskiness. Actually very similar to Boucheron Pour Homme, the way that opens up with there with a strong citrus and that kind of animalic style of muskiness. Then right behind this, you get a lot of woodiness, very ambery, warm woodiness in here, a little bit of a sweetness in there, but very, very subtle, and a lot of spiciness. I actually got a lot more spices out of this past time I wore it today since I did the last time I wore it, which is probably way back like mid-year or so. But yeah, really love this stuff. It is phenomenal, very much in that old school, mature, classic masculine style, but made a little more modern and a little more wearable and definitely way better performing and a little smoother overall. This is one that lasted a good bit, like a good longevity. Like I'd say, like it probably lasted maybe 6 hours, and I sprayed again, you know, midday. Had a nice projection overall. Sillage is great. Still smelled it on me right now on my neck, on my clothes and whatnot. Very classic. Like I said, today was a church day, so it matched very well with church vibes. Again, very clean, mature, masculine, things like that. George Zaharoff is like the perfect person to go down this lane of taking things that are old school, masculine, and classic and turning it now into the modern day man's wearable fragrance. It is just phenomenal. Love this stuff. Like I said, if you like the classic old school man's style of fragrance that is good for everyday wear, this is the one to go with. Really anything from Florida Zaharoff. So I highly recommend checking them out and getting some samples from them because man, this stuff is pure gold. Absolutely love it. And there you go, guys, all the things I've worn all through the week. If anything in here stood out to you, or you've worn them, or you just have a question about them, or you're looking about getting them and you just want to know a little more about it, let me know what you think in the comments below and what questions you may have to ask about it. And if you enjoyed this video, as usual, please consider giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know if you like my outfit today. You know, like I said, I don't get to dress up a whole lot. So if you do like the outfit and how I'm dressed up and you want me to do it more often, let me know in the comments below on that as well. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you see here or what you see elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the other things that I'm in the middle of the works of to bring out to you guys for you all to watch and enjoy. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey, and hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.